Today, I'm going to be playing out the 2023 season for the New York Giants, but after every touchdown that Saquon Barkley scores, we get to add a 99 overall player to this team. So, I mean, as long as things actually go our way today, by the end of the video, the Giants should be an absolute super team. I mean, as you can see to start things off, it's pretty obvious that this team needs some help. On the other side of things, I mean, the defense is quite a bit better than the offense, but they could still use some work. I mean, after looking at that roster, it seems like Barkley is going to have to score a lot of touchdowns if we want to turn the Giants into Super Bowl contenders, but in week 1, we have a really tough matchup. As you can see, we're going to be taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, on the bright side, we are going to be starting with the ball here, so I'm just going to hand it off to Barkley and hopefully, yeah, that's going to work out okay. I mean, our O-line isn't doing bad. We fumbled the ball. I think that's going to come back, though. I feel like we were definitely down before that came out. I mean, luckily for us, we were down. That was almost a nightmare start for the Giants. But as I was saying beforehand, if our O-line can keep blocking like this, we actually should be good. I mean, so far, it seems like they're actually doing a pretty good job. But at the same time, I mean, when you have a running back like Saquon Barkley, I feel like you don't need them to do a whole lot. With that being said, though, I mean, obviously, the better they play, the better Barkley's going to play today. I'm going to switch it up and try and go for Slayton here, and it looks like he's gonna bring that in. I mean, this isn't the worst team that I've used, but I mean, I feel like Daniel Jones is not gonna be on this team very long. If we get a few touchdowns today, one of the first positions honestly might be a quarterback that we switch out. I mean, yeah, I know he hasn't made any mistakes yet, but it's kind of bound to happen at some point because his accuracy just isn't it. I'm gonna try and go back to Slayton here though, and I mean, hopefully this can work out for us, and if it does, I would like to go for Barkley after this. Oh my God, he dropped it. Okay, we need some receivers too. I mean, again, we definitely could be off to a worse start than this. I mean, we haven't given the ball up yet, but most of like the bad plays that have happened, okay, we're going down. There's the O-line messing up. I was literally just praising a couple minutes ago about how good our O-line was playing today, and then they go ahead and allow a sack like that. I mean, all of the bad plays so far have been like self-inflicted wounds. That's gonna be a huge play from Campbell though. So I mean, 6 yards to go and we're in. I'm not gonna lie, for the first drive of the game, the Giants are honestly doing a lot better than I thought we would have done. I'm just gonna hand it off to Barkley here though, and it looks like we're gonna be 1 yard short. Cowboys are definitely making us work for this touchdown, but I mean, the way they're set up right here, I feel like Barkley should be able to punch this in, and it looks like our O-line's gonna create a path for us. So that's gonna be Barkley's first touchdown of the day, and that is going to give the lead to the Giants first here. We're coming back out here in the third quarter, though. I mean, as you can see, things aren't looking great for us right now, but we are still in this thing. I mean, we're only down by 10 points, and it looks like, nah, Barkley's getting shut down. I honestly thought we were going to have a path there for a second, but anyways, I feel like we kind of have to just keep putting it in the air here. Because, I mean, we are almost in the fourth quarter, so we don't have a whole lot of time to work with. That's a pretty big play. I know I was talking a lot of smack about Daniel Jones earlier, but so far, I mean, yeah, I'm probably still going to sub him out for someone better, but he's actually been playing all right today. I mean, he hasn't thrown, like, any picks or anything like that. As I'm praising him, he fumbles the ball after getting smoked by Parsons. And of course, after that, the Cowboys went down the field and scored. So now we're down 31-14. We're kind of getting annihilated at this point. I mean, I'm just hoping we can at least get one more touchdown with Barkley. That was a pretty big play from Slayton. Dallas did end up forcing a third down after that, though. So, I mean, now it's 3rd and 10. If this doesn't work out, I mean, with the time on the clock, I feel like we kind of have to go for it on 4th down here. But that's going to be picked off. I shouldn't have thrown that into double coverage. I mean, yeah, Bland's gone. I mean, the game was already over before that. That was just an absolute nightmare performance to start things off. I mean, at the start, things weren't looking too bad, but that second half was absolutely brutal. I mean, in that terrible performance, Barkley was only able to get the 1 touchdown. So, I mean, we only got to add 1 player, but it's a pretty big pickup because as you can see, we got Patrick Mahomes. So after that pickup right there, I mean, I'd say the Giants are pretty much instantly a playoff team. It doesn't matter how bad your roster is. If you have Patrick Mahomes, you are gonna be making the playoffs. But in week 2, things are gonna be getting a whole lot easier. I mean, we play the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals start with the ball, but they weren't able to get anything done. So I guess it's time for us to start things off. I'm just going to hand it off to Saquon here, and it looks like we're not going to be getting a whole lot. I feel like the Cardinals defense should be a whole lot easier to play against than Dallas, though. I mean, obviously. So, I mean, considering we also have Patrick Mahomes on this team now, I'd say the Giants definitely have a chance to have a monster performance today. But, I mean, at the same time, upsets can happen. I mean, we do have Patrick Mahomes and Saquon Barkley, but our receivers are not great, and our O-line is also not great. Our defense is pretty solid. I mean, obviously, we still have a lot of work to do to this team. I mean, I don't think we'd cut it in the playoffs. I'm going to hand it off to Saquon here, though. I mean, once again, it looks like we have some open field. That's a pretty big pickup. I can't remember what the most yardage he got off of a carry was last game, but I feel like that honestly might be the biggest pickup he's had so far in this video. And he's going to back it up with another huge gain. So by the looks of it, Saquon is on an absolute tear right now. I'm hoping he can finish things off with a touchdown. He's going to be locked up here though. So I mean, oh, wide open. That bounced off of his head. Cardinals forced a third down after that too. I mean, I feel like he definitely should have brought that in. I know Mahomes threw it on the run, but that was an absolute dot. Oh my God, he dropped it again. We really need some receivers. This team is really struggling right now, man. There is nothing else to it. I'm gonna go for Campbell because I did not come all this way just to kick a field goal. So hopefully come on, bro. We're getting stopped. So all of that was for nothing. Arizona scored after that too, but thankfully for us, our defense did end up getting an interception because we gave the ball up again after that. But anyways, since we have great field position here, I'm hoping, oh, Barkley's gonna get caught. We got that to the 7 though. I mean, 6 yards to go and we're in. We don't have a whole lot of time on the clock, but I mean, we can definitely just keep running it with Barkley until he punches it in. This is our best opportunity that we've had today, but we're gonna be getting stopped. We really need to make this work, man. I mean, it's third down. If this doesn't work out, I'm gonna go for it on fourth down. If we get stopped again, I'm gonna be extremely butthurt, but it looks like Barkley's finally gonna punch through for a touchdown. I mean, that took a long time for us to score. It's almost halftime and it's 7-7. So I mean, it's been a pretty boring game so far, but at least we've tied things up. I mean, we're coming back out here with 53 seconds left in the third quarter. As you can see, we're all tied up at 14 right now. I'm gonna try and go for Slayton here, who is actually wide open. That's not even Slayton, but we're gonna bring it all the way to the 3-yard line. It was Campbell that brought it all the way down here. I'm gonna hand it off to Barkley again here though, and hopefully he can do the same thing as last time, and it looks like that's gonna work out for another touchdown. So that is gonna give the Giants the lead back, and after that, it looks like the Cardinals did score, but our defense held them to a field goal. So we're up 21-17 right now. So I mean, if we can score a touchdown here, that may very well put things away. So hopefully that can happen because I'm really trying to get our first win of the season here. Come on, bring that in. That's another pretty solid pickup. I'm gonna hand it off to Barkley again here though, because I mean, I feel like he has been the best player on this team today. That's another huge gain. I mean, Barkley's been the one good thing about the Giants lately. I mean, everyone on the team, even Mahomes, is kind of struggling with how bad this O-line is. I mean, he hasn't really had a whole lot of time to get rid of the ball today, and our receivers have also been dropping some very easy passes. But I'm gonna hand it off to Saquon again here. If he can punch that in, this is going to be a very long touchdown, but it looks like we're getting stopped. Either way, that's still a pretty solid pickup. I'm going to try and go back to Darius Slayton here though, and it looks like that should work out. Come on, he dropped it. Since he couldn't bring that in, I mean, I guess now it's going to be third down. I'm just going to try and go for Campbell here, unless Barkley can somehow get wide open, which it looks like that is exactly what's going to happen. So we're just going to pass it to him for the touchdown. So that's going to be 3 touchdowns now on the game for Saquon Barkley, and that also gives us a 10-point lead. So that should put things away. And after that, it looks like our defense was able to close things out. We only won by 8 points, but I mean, either way, a dub's a dub. So the Giants are finally going to get their first win of the season. But anyways, Barkley ended up finishing that game with 3 touchdowns. So we got 3 very, very important new additions to this team. I mean, first of all, we got Mahomes a weapon by picking up Justin Jefferson. And then we also picked up Quentin Nelson and Zach Martin. I mean, after all of that, the Giants are actually looking like a very solid team right now. But in week 3, we have a test. As you can see, we're going to be playing the 49ers, who are somehow 0-2. I mean, it looks like we are going to be starting with the ball here. We got to test out this duo, though, because, I mean, I feel like Justin Jefferson and Patrick Mahomes are going to be unstoppable today. That's a first. I mean, I know it's just one play, but I can already tell you right here, this is going to be a very, very dangerous team to play now that we have these weapons. That's almost a first down from Barkley as well. I mean, the Cowboys were a pretty tough team to face, don't get me wrong, but I feel like this is probably our biggest test of the season. As I said, even though they're somehow 0-2, this is probably the best defense in the league next to maybe Baltimore. I'm going to try and go back to Justin Jefferson here, though. I mean, hopefully he can get open for us. I mean, that's going to be really close, but I feel like that should work out. That accuracy from Mahomes is absolutely insane. I mean, obviously, we all know Mahomes' accuracy is going to be absolutely insane, but I mean, just after using Daniel Jones for 2 games, it just feels 10 times better. It looks like Barkley's getting shut down, though. I mean, that does bring up a 3rd down, so if this doesn't work out, I might go for it on 4th down because I'd not come this far just to kick a field goal, but it looks like Barkley's going to get it all the way to the 1-yard line. So as long as our O-line doesn't collapse here, I mean, I feel like we should be good after the upgrades to the O-line. Yeah, we're going to get some blocks this time. So Barkley's going to be in for another touchdown, and that one right there is going to give the lead to the Giants first here. Coming back out here in the 3rd quarter, though, I mean, as you can see, we are down by 4 points right now, which isn't really that surprising. But hopefully we can get a touch. Oh, Bosa's on us. I honestly didn't even realize he was there until it was too late. But hopefully we can make up for it with this play here. I mean, I might try. Oh, dude, Jefferson was wide open, but we're getting smoked by Hufanga. Things have gone very bad very quickly here. I'm running the same play, and hopefully this time we don't get smoked. Because, I mean, this is really the only play that we have a chance to... Oh, my God. We were so close to getting the first. I know this is a really bad decision. I don't want to hear it, though. We're down by 4 points. Obviously, if this doesn't work out, we are kind of digging a hole for ourselves. But we have Justin Jefferson, and it looks like it's going to pay off. I know I'm going to hear about that one, but I mean, when you have Justin Jefferson, I feel like you're able to go for 4th downs like that because you just know it's going to work with a guy like him as long as your O-line holds up. But yeah, unlike this time, we're going to get the ball back, but we did fumble. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, at this point, we do have a really solid O-line after picking up Nelson and Martin, but we do still really need a center and a left tackle because those 2 positions are terrible. What a play from Mahomes. I mean, that's just the difference between Mahomes and Jones because there is no chance in hell that Jones would have pulled off a play like that. Barkley's going backwards, though. Actually, we still got a yard off of that play, but that still isn't great. I'm going to try and go for Robinson here, and hopefully he can get some separation. That looks good. That's gonna bring it all the way to the 1-yard line. I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly really surprised that that play actually worked out for us. But anyways, 1 yard to go and we're in. Obviously, we're just going to hand it off to Barkley, and it looks like that's going to work out. So that's going to be 2 touchdowns now on the game for Saquon, and that's going to give the lead back to the New York Giants. We're coming back out here in the 4th quarter, though. The defense did get an interception for us, but before that, the 49ers did score. So, I mean, on the bright side, we have great field position. On the downside, we just threw another interception. On the bright side for us, I mean, as you can see, it looks like our defense did surprisingly clutch up for us. But on the downside, we only have 20 seconds on the clock. So, I mean, if this doesn't work out, we're going to have a huge issue. At this point, I honestly don't even care who scores. We just need to get somebody open for a touchdown. I mean, the game is pretty much on the line right now. Come on, Jefferson. That is going to be really dangerous, but with a player like him, he almost brought that in. Our defense screwed up and got a holding call, so I mean, we only have 2 seconds on the clock, but that does push us all the way back to the 37. So, I mean, if the... Oh, Bosa's going to end it. I didn't even have a chance to get the ball off. But anyways, once again, it looks like we're going to be taking another very disappointing loss to the hands of the 49ers, so that's going to move us back below 500. But anyways, we got to add another 2 players since Barkley finished that game with 2 touchdowns. I'm still focusing on the offense because, I mean, up until now, the defense is still doing pretty well. This time, we got Mahomes another weapon because now we also have Tyreek Hill, and then we picked up Jason Kelce for the O-line, and last week was a very tough game. I feel like we still shouldn't have lost, but now with the roster we have, I feel like there is no more excuses. So, I mean, the Giants from now on should be going on an absolute tear, but in week 4, we're going to be taking on the Seattle Seahawks. It looks like we are are going to be starting with the ball here as well. I'm just going to try and go for Robinson. I mean, I feel like this is kind of a safe route. It doesn't usually fail me. If he's locked up, I can just go for Jefferson, and it looks like we're going to find Jettas. That's a first down. With the new and improved O-line, though, I mean, I feel like Barkley should be able to have a pretty good game. I mean, we should be getting blocks from every angle, as you can see. That's a first down. So that's good news for us. The O-line is looking fantastic right now. So, I mean, hopefully our problems are over. I'm going to try. Yes, sir. Tyreek Hill is going to be wide open. That's another huge play. As long as we can keep this up, I think the Giants are going to be pretty terrifying. As I said, from here on out, it looks like we are already playing a whole lot better than we were before. That's almost another first from Hill. I'm going to see if we can punch this in from here, though. I mean, 17 yards is a pretty long run for Barkley, but as long as our O-line can give us some blocks here, I mean, that is going to be a first down. This play right here is kind of dangerous. It's either going to be like a touchdown or we're going to lose yardage. It all depends on how our O-line blocks out for us. I mean, it's not going to be a touchdown, but we did get a couple yards. Still not what I was hoping for. I mean, we do need 6 yards for the first down here. I'm really hoping that we can get this. That block is going to save our life. That's going to be a touchdown from Barkley. I mean, the O-line is kind of clutching up now. I'm definitely starting to realize a difference with this offense. So that's going to be a touchdown to give the lead to the Giants first here. We're coming back out here in the second quarter, though. Our defense forced a fumble at the 18-yard line. So we have great field position to start off this drive. And it looks like Hill is going to make it even better. So after that, I mean, all we need to do is get 4 yards and we're in for another touchdown. Obviously, we're just going to hand it off to Barkley again and see if he can punch this in. And it looks like it's going to work out again. So that's 2 touchdowns already on the game for Saquon Barkley, and that's going to extend this to a 2-score lead. We're coming back out here in the second quarter, though. I mean, after that, Seattle did end up scoring, but we had a pretty crazy kick return. So we have great field position once again here, and it looks like Tyreek Hill is going to get a huge pickup to bring it all the way to the 4. That is what we like to see out of this guy, man. That was a huge play. I want to keep this a 2-score game for as long as I can here. So hopefully, yeah, that's going to work out. Barkley's in for his 3rd touchdown of the first half, which once again is going to make this a 2-score game. So the Giants are balling right now. We're coming back out here in the third quarter, though. I mean, as you can see, Seattle has made things a whole lot closer. We're still up 21-16, though. So, I mean, we do still have a pretty solid lead. That's a huge run from Barkley. As I said, I kind of just want to keep this at a 2-score game for as long as I can. So, I mean, hopefully we can score here and make it a 2-score game again. It looks like Hill is gonna be wide open. I could have brought that back, but we're going down at the 5. The offense is already crazy, but I feel like we should still add some upgrades to the defense. So, I mean, hopefully we can get a few more touchdowns with Saquon here. That looks like it's gonna work out. So that's what? That's 4 touchdowns now on the game for Saquon Barkley. We're coming back out here in the fourth quarter, though. I mean, we're up 21-23. Seattle's putting up a much bigger fight than I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie, but we are still in the lead. So, I mean, as long as we can hold on to that, I'm hoping that we can end up winning this game. I mean, that was a pretty big play right there from Jefferson. I'm gonna hand it off to Barkley again, though. I mean, that honestly could go. We're gonna get past him with the juke, but we're gonna get caught at the 8-yard line. I'm just gonna keep pounding the rock with Barkley, though. I mean, I feel like if we just keep handing it off to him, at some point he is gonna punch this in. And oh, we got tripped up again. Okay, that's gonna force a 3rd down. Seattle got another stop after that too. I did not come all this way just to kick a field goal. So we're gonna hand it off to Barkley again here and pray that this works out, but we're gonna get stopped. Thankfully for us, though, I mean, our defense clutched up because Seattle had the ball at like the 3-yard line. So we just stopped them on 4th down. So now we have the ball back at the 6-yard line. And it looks like this time we're actually going to punch it in with Saquon. So that's going to be 5 touchdowns on the game for Barkley, which is absolutely ridiculous. And that one should put things away. And no surprise after that, our defense did end things. So, I mean, we're going to get a blowout win against the Seahawks because we scored again after that. So we'll take it 42-23. But anyway, since Barkley went on an absolute tear that game, we got to add 5 new additions to this team. This time, I just went ahead and maxed out the defense by picking up Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, Sauce Gardner, TJ Watt, and Derwin James. So, I mean, as you can see, this defense is absolutely loaded. And on the other hand, obviously the same story goes for the offense. I mean, after all of that, I'd say our work here is done. I think we are clearly your Super Bowl favorites with a team like this. There's a very high chance the Giants go undefeated for the rest of the season. And I mean, no surprise, it looks like the Giants went on an absolute tear this season, going 15-2 to win the division and get the #1 seed. And it looks like we're going to be taking on the Eagles in the divisional round. And it looks like the Eagles are going to get absolutely packed. So now we play the Falcons for a trip to the Super Bowl. And it looks like the Falcons are also going to get annihilated. So now we play the Bengals in the Super Bowl. I mean, it looks like we're already off to an insane start here. Our defense got a pick on like the first play of the game. So we have the ball at the 5-yard line here, and it looks like Barkley's gonna get stopped. I know this is a game that the Bengals can definitely win, because I mean, it's the Cincinnati Bengals, but they did go 9-8 in the regular season, so somehow they made it all the way to the Super Bowl as the 7 seed. But either way, it looks like we're gonna find Waller for the touchdown, so that is gonna put the Giants up 7-0 early. I mean, as I said, we already got off to a super hot start, and after that, our defense got another stop, so we have a chance to go up 14-0 early here, which would be pretty big right now. Obviously, that's not gonna put the game away or anything like that. I mean, we're literally in the first quarter, but 14-0 would definitely help us out early here. I'm gonna try and go for Tyreek Hill. Oh, that's gonna be passing or roughing the passer as well, so that's gonna add even more yardage onto that gain. I mean, Mahomes got absolutely popped there, so that brings the ball all the way to the 23-yard line. I'm gonna try and go for Jefferson. That is another first down. This team is so crazy. We deserve it too. I mean, the Giants got off to a pretty rough start at the start of this video, but ever since we've got Tyreek Hill, I think it's when we got Hill and Kelsey when things really started clicking. I mean, Jefferson and Hill on the same team is just an absolute nightmare, and it looks like Barkley's gonna sneak that one in. So that's gonna put us up 14-0. So I mean, again, obviously that does not put things away yet, but things are definitely looking pretty good for the Giants right now. I mean, as you can see, the Bengals did keep this one pretty close, but in the end, it looks like this super team was just too much to handle. I mean, that was definitely well deserved. Our defense was absolutely loaded, and so was our offense. You guys saw how unfair this roster was. Again, though, I mean, Joe Burrow did actually put up one hell of a fight. I mean, considering the Bengals were a 7-seed team, making it all the way to the Super Bowl, that's pretty impressive. But anyways, as you can see, to end things off, Patrick Mahomes and the New York Giants are going to be hoisting a well-deserved Lombardi trophy. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd really help out the channel, and if you have any video ideas, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can, and while you're down there, comment the most random thing you can think of so we can confuse everybody in the comment section. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.